You're watching NBC Bay Area News at 7.
Plus, San Francisco Zynga is all ready to go public, but what is it really like to work there? A new survey of top tech companies is coming up. Well, Zynga may make its living by getting you to play online, but some say working there is far from fun and games. There is a tough criticism out today ahead of the public offering that could happen any day now. Several former employees of the San Francisco-based company told the New York Times it's a demanding job with long hours. They say that there are often ruthless wars between teams of people working on games like Mafia Wars and Farmville. The report comes out the same day. A North-based company new survey reveals that workers give CEO Mark Pincus a less than average approval rating. Scott Dabrowski from Glassdoor.com joining me tonight with more on the employee survey. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about, first of all, how this survey works, and not just in Zynga's case, but in any company that you do.
Correct. Good question. Well, Glassdoor, basically, we are an inside look at jobs and companies. So a lot of people use TripAdvisor or Yelp before they, book a trip somewhere, go to a restaurant, things like that. So Glassdoor is the same concept, however, in the jobs and companies space. So before you apply for a place to work, you can go on Glassdoor, see what others are saying about actually working there. So these are the people who really know best, the employees themselves, and determine, do I want to work there? Do I not want to work there? What's good there? What's not so good there?
Right. And, one of the criticisms that, for example, Yelp gets is the business owner will say, you know what, I got a thing and people love me. And then I get one or two complaints. They go on Yelp. Maybe my happy customers don't, and I get a bad rap. Can the same thing happen with a Bay Area company where a couple disgruntled employees might go on and then, the happy ones don't necessarily go on and you get kind of a bad rap?
Sort of, but, we, first of all, take our data integrity really, really seriously. So we have a very comprehensive multi-tier review process, which is technological and human touch. So we want to make sure that, things are there, is accurate and is truthful. We have community guidelines that people have to meet. In fact, 15% of the content that is submitted to us is actually rejected because it might be crude, it might be bad, it doesn't meet our community guidelines. So we do a really good job at making sure all of that is
and apparently, break it down, so it's not just, what's the work environment like, but you look at things like CEO, and I think in this case there was a 46% approval rating for Pincus. Can you kind of look at how that compares with some of the other companies? And I think right now we're showing CEO approval ratings. There you go right there. Zynga's at 46%.
Sure.
And you can kind of compare some of the others and how they stack up.
Right. I mean, obviously right there, Sony and Groupon, they are slightly above.
That, yeah.
They do like that. You want to know who people really like. Facebook and Google, no surprise, they're wildly successful companies. Zuckerberg at Facebook and, Larry Page at Google, both in the mid to high 90s when it comes to approval ratings. Then you look at a company like Activision, which is directly competing with Zynga. Their CEO rates slightly lower, 33%.
Yeah, so, and let's talk a little bit about ratings from employees. They said that Zynga overall got an okay. It was something like a 2.1. How does that system work?
Okay, so employees go on Glassdoor. They submit these anonymous reviews. Do they like working there or not? It's on a scale of 1 to 5, so pretty simple. And overall, when you accumulate all the dozens of anonymous employee reviews, it's a 2.6 rating, which is an okay place to work.
Kind of rates back in the middle, really.
It kind of rates back in the middle. Again, okay, it's not great, but it's not bad either.
So here's a couple of things that people are thinking about.
Right.
And we don't mean to pick on Zynga. They just happen to be in the center of the topic today.
Right.
So there are some people who may not be happy there, but they're about ready to go with their IPO. Some people are about ready to make a boatload of money. So at that point, they would be free to leave, and somebody could cherry pick this talent off, and they could end up in other tech companies around the Bay Area, once they decide, hey, it's time for me to go.
That is always a possibility. It's really hard for us at Glassdoor to speculate on what's going to happen when, Zynga goes public. Is it good? Is it bad? What's going to happen to the employees? What we can tell is that some employees are satisfied there, some are not. If you want to know, what's working well there, we know that the employees, they get massages there. They get pretty good food.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Gym membership, right?
They get a gym membership. They work with really, really smart, innovative, creative people. I mean, they're the makers of, Words with Friends and
as
Farmville.
You mentioned, some of them have been on the ground floor and they're about ready to make some big money, theoretically.
Yes, some of them, that's always a possibility. And again, though, some of them, though, do want things to be improved upon. There was a theme when looking at what employees are saying about Zynga. A lot of the employees there, yes, they say, I can work 8 to 18 hours a day. Sometimes I am in a position and I feel like I can't move forward, and
Right.
I'm pigeonholed.
There was a look at some of the good and the bad that we've been talking about, good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
So, you know, how does it stack up compared to some of the other tech companies, and is that trend staying steady? And I bring it up because Google, for example, is one of those companies everybody said to love to work for. I've been there, visited their
Right.
campuses. I saw the things that the employees get. They have some pretty cool benefits there, you know?
Google is a rarity. Look, it's one of the best places in America, in the world, possibly to work for. Okay, so everyone likes to talk about Google and Facebook. When you do stack it up against other tech companies, you know, Zynga is higher than some, Zynga is lower than some. You know, I know that you guys reported on Hewlett-Packard a few months ago. They got a new CEO, eBay's former CEO, Meg Whitman. Okay, they actually rate just lower than Zynga in company ratings. They get a 2.5, so still an okay place. Not great, not
so you
terrible.
can kind of compare, and
Yeah.
even though, you know, and is the glass half empty or half full? I would say it's probably, you know, maybe half full over at Zynga, huh?
Yeah, it could be. You know what? That is up for someone who's reading these reviews really to kind of
And decide
determine
for
for themselves. And for the investors, if it does go public, they can look. You know, if there is a
Right.
correlation, you know, sometimes on how successful a company is to employee sentiment, and typically those companies with higher employee sentiments, like a Facebook, like a Google, they're pretty
When the
successful
IPO
as well.
comes out, then they do better.
Maybe you want to invest your money there, maybe not. Depends on you at that time.
All right, Scott, so much. Thanks for coming by. We appreciate it. Kind of a
Thank you.
cool look. All right.
Thank you.